Hello, everybody. Welcome to a new episode-ish. Go ahead. Go ahead and ask me what happened.
What did you do, Ducky?
Well, I
Mm,
try and make things better, and sometimes I really need to tell myself if it's not broken, don't fix it.
mm-hmm.
So, we are redoing love languages. And why, you ask? Because Ducky thought she could improve it. So I had to take it down, took down the whole episode because there's this really cool rock and roll beginning that I wanted to put in the beginning, like an intro music. And I don't know what happened to my extended hard drive, which has the original editing copy on it, like the raw
Mm,
material, and then also has the edited episode.
yeah.
I found my PlayStation one, like maybe PS4 has its own little gigabyte external hard drive. I don't know what happened to my computer one because I moved stuff around in my house. And so when I took down the episode to try and add in the music, I didn't like the part, like the section of the music that was playing. So I tried to edit it, but when I hit delete, it was like everything. And I was like, what? like two episodes, like part one and part two, over 2 hours worth of content. Because each
Oof.
episode was 58 minutes to an hour gone. And I tried to do the whole undo. Like maybe if I get out of it, maybe it didn't save, go back in it. Yeah, no, it's gone. So the footage is pretty much in the lake with your sunglasses.
Oh, nice. Nice.
That's why we don't
I
give you
really
nice
like them
things.
sunglasses too. There's a saying for you. You probably know it, but we're just gonna say it anyway. You done fucked up, Aaron.
Facts. I did. So yeah, that's what happened. So, first time was all right. I feel like I need to get one of those Hollywood things. If they have those little signs we go, it's like take
Yeah.
two.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's not but for being honest, that is not the first time that I've deleted footage.
Actually, no, it's not.
It is the second time because I think it was the very first episode that I went to go transfer it from because we record on Zoom. So transfer it from Zoom into this recording or this video editing program and I deleted it. And good thing that was saved on my computer. So this time it's saved onto my computer. Yeah.
Job. Job.
So we're gonna do it again. Because why not?
I'm so excited. I'm just kidding.
Right? Oh, now I got the hiccups.
Is this what this episode is gonna be? Your hiccups?
Apparently, I'm just gonna hiccup.
Where's our extra co-host? Did he leave?
So I brought up Persepolis, my bearded dragon,
Mm-hmm.
to co-host with us because I thought it would be so cool. And I will take a picture of him and include this in the episode footage. But yeah, no, he straight up dipped and he's hiding in the corner asleep right now.
He's like, sorry guys, I'm out.
Pretty much. Like he is passed out in the corner.
Oh, that's too funny.
He's done.
Butts hanging out over there. That's kind of funny.
He's single, so he doesn't really have any love language experience to talk about.
That's all right, I guess. That just means we're getting older. I'm not old. I'm not old. Don't know. Not
Okay.
old.
Okay. I'm old. I feel I mean, we're the same age, but I'm
No, we're not.
old.
No, I'm not old. Don't you be grouping me in with that. No, I'm not.
No, because you're younger than me, because I'm over here pre-menopausal and all of that. Yeah.
I'm over here just, you know what? We're not gonna say that. We're not gonna say that. Mm.
So if you heard, you get to hear it again. So we took a quiz. It was on the website is 5lovelanguages.com, and it's from Gary Chapman, and he did years of research in psychology and into relationships, and he really broke it down to like the 5 love languages, and you can
Hmm.
take a quiz on there, and it's going to tell you your number one love language, and then it tells you like the other ones like in I guess order 1 through 5, but it's not going to tell you your percentage. Like, oh, what is a good one? Like receiving gifts, is 46%. Like it's just gonna unless you pay for the results.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
I'm cheap, so I didn't pay for the
I
results.
mean,
All that
I
mattered
was
was
too,
number
so.
one.
So, Ducky, what was your number one?
My number one. Okay, so I did not think this was my number one.
Right.
I thought, like, do you want me to just name off the love languages?
Yeah.
Okay. So you have acts of service,
Mm.
which is like going out of your way to make somebody's life a little more easier. So, like, oh, I noticed that you had an empty tank of gas. I refilled up your gas, or,
So nice when people do that for you. I haven't had that happen in
right?
so long.
I don't know if I've ever had that happen because nobody ever drives my car. And then the second one is receiving gifts. And this is like, it's not about the monetary value. Like, oh, I spent $397 on you. It's the
Mm.
symbolism behind the gifts.
Right.
And then we have notes. And then we have quality time, words of affirmation, and then physical touch. So I thought words of affirmation would be my number one because I feel like I'm a very like vocal, verbal kind of person.
Hmm.
But mine was actually physical touch. I was surprised.
I would ask you if you knew what mine was, but we all know what mine is.
No, no, we have no idea. Whatever could it be?
So mine is physical touch.
Yes.
I feel like physical touch and words of affirmation are like my number
Hmm.
ones. And then it goes down. So like after that it would be quality time, probably acts of service, and then the gift one. Because like gifts are nice for me, but like and I like them, but
Yeah.
like they don't do as much for me as like the physical touch or words of affirmation.
Hmm.
So
Um, okay, so if you don't mind me asking,
mm,
because we just share it all on our shenanigan podcast.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So from previous relationships, because so we're really into learning from your past, you
Mm,
know, and we could be negative Nancy's and like tear apart our exes, but it's not going to change history, you know?
mm.
You all right there, buddy?
There's there's a freaking mosquito and I can't freaking kill it. And it's just going like this. And it just keeps going through my path. And I'm like, I'm gonna get you eventually. This one time that you land, it's gonna happen.
This is where we're gonna see like a huge book, and it's gonna be one of those like her dirty novels that just come across
No,
the
no, we
screen.
don't do that. We don't do that with
Oh,
those novels.
oh, so sorry.
No.
Well, as long as it doesn't say the Holy Bible. King James Version, bink.
We're not doing none of that.
Okay, so
By the way, just take a moment.
yes.
Just take a moment. Here. Oh. Um, my collection is growing.
Yes.
It's
I
kind of
know
nice.
that first cubby on the upper left is the cubby that I'm not supposed to look
Yeah,
at.
no, no,
Those
no,
are
that's not you.
nope, don't look at those books.
Yeah. Those might be a little too much for you two. These over here, this one right here, these are the two I just got.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, probably not.
I barely can read like the Sunday comics.
Funny.
That Snoopy, he's too wild.
Too crazy.
But so we try and look at things as in like everything in life is a learning lesson. So instead of tearing apart our exes, which isn't going to do anything, it's not going to change the past or anything like that. And
Hmm.
this is going to go into the whole um exes, hexes, and concubines. But I feel like the intentions was probably humorous, but it was also negative energy.
Mm.
And we don't want the
Yes.
negative energy. So
No.
that's really going to be more like when life hands you lemons. Like, what is your lemonade takeaway kind of a thing
Mm.
from it?
Right.
So, when it comes to acts of service, like, what would you say from previous relationships? Like, what was a takeaway that you apply to like future relationships?
For acts of service.
Yeah.
This okay, so this would go along with like with my ex-husband. So like he took care of me material wise. That's
Mm-hmm.
how he took care of me. So like I don't even know like a takeaway from it other than the fact that it was just nice that someone actually took care of me that way because normally it's like I'm a very independent person. Like I take care of me, myself, and I.
Mm-hmm.
And so like for someone else to do that for me, to give me an opportunity to like I was at a job where my mental health was not in a good place. Like I like almost to the point where I wanted to do bodily harm. So like that's it was just really nice that someone took the time to take care of me
Yeah.
versus myself taking care of me. So
Mm-hmm.
it was I guess that's what I would take away from it.
I feel like
It's
I'm on
just
the
nice that someone
same
else too.
way. Yeah, because I feel like we're both very, like, not to be cheesy, but very strong, independent women.
Mm, we try
And,
anyway.
like, we do everything. Like, if we can do it ourselves, we're going to do it ourselves, you
Yeah,
know?
facts.
And I feel like that does take away from the acts of service when it comes to, like, those that we're seeing.
Mm,
So I think that that was probably something I took away from previous relationships, like in regards to like Frank and my ex-husband. It's like
right,
I never gave them the opportunity to do something for me because they always had
right,
it. It was either already done or, oh, I don't need you to do that because I'm going to do it today at 4 o'clock. It's scheduled in my planner, you know? And it's like I never gave them the opportunity to do something for me.
right. So here's an example of something too. So like today, someone was like, "So if I wanted to bring you coffee at work today, would you let me?" And I'm like, "I mean, you can, but like, I can't like." I'm always busy. I'm always busy. And like for me to sit and take a break, like,
Yeah.
come on now. Like you think they let us take breaks? That's not how that works.
Like the 5 hour energy shot, like an instant shot. That's your break.
We can take breaks. It's just like
Yeah.
if it's really busy, it's really hard to get away to take a
Hmm.
break. And so like I would feel really bad for someone to go out of their way to bring me a coffee because they just like say they want to see me or something. And then like I'm just like, "Oh, hey, thanks for the coffee. Okay, bye." Like that
Yeah.
would be really rude. I'd feel really bad. So like when they asked if they could do that, I'm like, I mean, yeah, you can, but like, you know, like
It's
I
gonna
don't
be
want to
a
be
quick
rude.
hi, bye, thanks.
Hi, bye, thanks, see you later.
The ice is probably gonna go melt in this, while I
Yeah.
leave it on the counter.
I yeah. Yeah,
I get two
absolutely.
cold swigs out of it.
Facts.
So for number two is receiving gifts. So when it comes to that, my biggest takeaway was, and this is gonna go with Jay, he was like a guy I was dating that turned into a very, very close friend of mine.
Mm.
Like, I don't know if I could say he's a best friend, because technically you're the best
Oh,
friend.
yeah, you got that right.
But I kind of knew
Yeah.
him before I knew you.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
But with him,
Rude.
so
No, I'm just kidding.
whoa, whoa. So when he passed away, I was given a necklace of his and I was given his motorcycle jacket. And I like cherished these items. And we did a motorcycle run or like a motorcycle ride for him, like in his honor.
Mm.
Um, and my friend at that time, who
Wait
was
a minute.
also,
He rode bikes.
yes,
Bruh.
a 750 red Honda Magna. This thing was like Top Gun, Berlin, Take My Breath Away. Yeah, I loved his bike. I'll have to find a picture of it and like post
This
it.
is rude. I just thought I'd let you know this is rude. Rude?
Rude.
Rude. Rude.
He was my only motorcycle like biker era. He was it.
I'm over
After
here just
him,
like I'm over here just like panting as them as they drive by me. I'm like,
well, after him, I've never been on a motorcycle since. Like he was my one and done only motorcycle. Like a
okay.
mutual friend of ours, I don't know if she's okay if I say her name or not. Her husband, who's like a Viking, he rides motorcycles. Like his
Oh yeah, yeah.
motorcycles are beautiful and like we were really cool. Like we were all friends and everything. And he was like, "Oh, do you want to go for a ride one day?" Like respectful and everything. And I was like, "I don't think I could go on another motorcycle after Jay."
Yeah. No,
Like
I get it. I
that's one
understand.
of those like that will forever just be his, you know?
Right.
But I had his motorcycle jacket, and his friend asked to borrow it because he wanted to wear it during the motorcycle ride. And I
Mhm.
understood it was like an honorable thing. And I don't ride motorcycles, so I understand like, well, why did she get his motorcycle jacket? Because I just did. Like it was given to me, like
Right.
bequeathed to me, you know.
Right.
I never got that motorcycle jacket back. Like they sold it. I
Oh, that's
was
rude.
infuriated because when he died, I went through this whole like spiral. I crashed and burned. There's a lot of bottles of vodka. Like I went on a whole alcohol binge, you know.
Here's the
Um,
takeaway from that. How many years have you been sober?
April 29th this year will be 8 years.
Look at that. Good job. I'm
I'm
proud
so
of you.
proud of myself. I
I
know.
remember when you said that you weren't drinking no more. That's how long we've been friends and we've known each
Yes.
other.
It's been a long time.
Good job. I'm proud of you. Good job.
Yeah, it's been that long because April 29th has been a very special day for me
Mm.
because I mean, we're going to talk about this at some point, I'm sure. So when Jay died, I went through hell, like emotionally, and I'm totally going to cry now.
Okay.
And so when he died, I couldn't anymore. Mentally, physically, emotionally, all of that. And on April 29th, I killed myself.
Well,
And
sorry
it
for
was a bunch of
that.
pills and a really shitty bottle of wine. Like I almost feel like I should have like got a better year. Like it somehow would have made a difference. I'm so angry about the bottle of wine. Just saying. But
Angry about that.
anywho, yes. But so I killed myself and all of that fun stuff. But then April 29th is also the day that I chose to get sober. And that was not because of Frank, but when I was dating Frank and going through all of the punches I took because of him,
Mm.
not from him. Our
Right.
relationship was great. Like we both were like, that was a fantastic, great relationship. I stepped away, not because of anything he was doing, but because I felt like I was recently divorced. I needed to know what it was like to be on my own because I was with my ex-husband since I was in high school.
All
So it's
right.
like I was never really alone and I wasn't with my family anymore because that was a whole cult like experience. So I
All
just needed
right.
to be alone, you know?
Right.
So on April 29th, I chose to get sober. And April 29th of last year, I got baptized again. So I was a
Oh,
born again
nice.
Christian. So April 29th has meant like a lot to me. That has been like the huge transformation date.
That's
Yeah.
good.
But so receiving gifts takeaway was that even though I was given his necklace, which I still have, and his motorcycle jacket, that the gifts, materialistic things don't matter. Like it matters when it comes to the loving gesture of, oh, I received all these amazing things. But it's really the memories that matter because I don't
Right.
have his motorcycle jacket anymore, but I can still remember his smell and what it was like to ride on the bike with him and everything like that. So that was my takeaway. Yeah.
I don't know if because like I guess it would be like my ex-husband because um the ex prior to that didn't really give me jack diddly squat.
Hmm.
Um he was really good at gift giving. So some of the manga that I have right there, he got me that.
I like how you like perfectly point to it right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. He so this right here, we'll just talk about it. This is for this bunny right here. Is
Hmm.
for my baby. He's buried in the backyard. And I couldn't cremate him. I didn't have the money to. So that's why we buried him. And it was just really hard. And so that's why he got me the bunny so that I had something to remember him by.
Yeah.
It was probably one of the best gifts that I've ever gotten. I have him sitting right there because right next to it I have my other babies right next to him. So we have Thor, we have Loki, we have Midnight, and then we have Pippin.
Hmm.
Last year was a very hard year. It
Yes.
was a very hard year. So very good gifts. Very good gifts to give me for my babies.
So, when it comes to quality time in relationships, like what is something that you have either learned or taken away in regards to quality time?
For me, I used to think that just being next to somebody
Hmm.
is enough for me. It's not. It's really not. Like I would like to be doing something with you, like if we're playing a game together, watching movies, going to go do something together. Like even if it's just cuddling because it's like ties into, like the physical touch and everything like that. So, but for me, like if we're just sitting in a room, yes, it's nice.
Hmm.
But that's not technically quality time.
Yes. Yeah, quality time is like the undivided attention, where active listening, engage in a conversation where there is no distractions. It's like
Right.
you and that person.
Right. And so with being with my ex-husband, he was fine with us just being in the same room.
Hmm.
And the only thing that I can say is that that's not enough. That's not enough.
Yeah.
And not to say it in a mean way, but he knows this already. Hopefully he takes that like into like a newer relationship to
Like
actually take time to spend with your partner because just sitting in the room like you playing your game and me playing my game, that's like it's not actually quality time. So, which is funny because when we were dating, we spent more quality time together than we did when we were dating. So that's my takeaway.
when you were
Like
dating, you had more quality time than when you were married.
yeah,
Okay. You said
yeah.
dating again. I was like, wait.
Oh, when we were dating. Sorry, my bad. So yeah,
See, I think this like again, regardless of like your like generally speaking, but regardless of somebody's situation in a relationship, that it's always one of those like take the emotions out of it, and look at it like, okay, well, what was I needing from this relationship? And how can I go into the next relationship? Or how, even if you're single, how can you provide that for yourself? You know?
and never settle.
Yeah, don't ever settle. Mm-mm.
I'm working on that. And like I know. We got a whole list. We got a whole list.
I mean, just
That
saying.
sounds like I'm being super picky, but you know what? Be picky. Be picky. Because if you're
Yeah.
not picky, you're settling and you don't want to settle.
Mm-mm. Life is way too short, and not everybody gets to come back like I did. So, don't settle in life.
Yeah, don't do it.
Like if you think you're being picky or you're how do you say that? Not your demands, but your goals, like your dream list is too much and like, oh, you need to cut it back. Don't. Somebody is out there, you know. Yeah.
Someone is out there. That's what I keep telling myself.
Somebody's out. They're just stuck in traffic right now, but they're out there.
They're out there pulling on that push door, and boy, you better learn how to pull the door, not push it. Just saying.
Sex. So next, we're talking about quality time. So when it comes to takeaways, like my takeaways of quality time, me and my ex-husband never spent any quality time together. And I think that's because like we and a lot of like even now, like in modern times talking to each other, like we don't know why we were brought together. We don't have a whole lot in common. A lot
Mm.
of people were like, we don't understand how you guys are married. Like, because I was a book nerd who was like all about ancient history and I wanted to be an Egyptologist and all of that. And I watched like true crime and like give me a documentary and I will be happy, you know? And he was the person who was all about like the no offense to TV shows, but like the brain numbing TV shows,
Mm-hmm.
like the ones that you can just watch and you're not getting anything from it, but it's hilarious, but you just watch it to
Glad to
relax.
watch it. Yeah.
Yeah. Um
Is that why I watch Big Bang Theory now? I've seen it like 100 times. I still find it funny. Like I love
yeah.
it. I love it so much, but I've seen it like literally 100. Like, you know me. You know me. What do I watch when I get home? What do I put on when I get home? I put
Big
on Big
Bang
Bang
Theory.
Theory. And I sit there and I start from episode 1 to the very last episode. What do we do when we get done? We go back to episode 1 and we will watch it all over
Yes.
again. I
It's
still
just
find a lot of bits really funny though, but it's just kind of funny. I get a kick out of it.
I think that would be my takeaway was with him, there was never any quality time. Like I was always doing my thing, he was doing his thing. And with Frank, because Frank was after my like marriage failed, with him, I really learned quality time. Like I learned like turning off your phone, like not having like we went out to eat somewhere, like don't sit there texting, don't be scrolling Facebook, like actually be there in the moment with the person that you're with, and I think that that
Right.
was the best thing that he could have ever taught me was like when we were together, it was us. Like the world got shut off. Like we stayed at his place and didn't go anywhere. And it was heaven because it was just me and him. Like everything else was turned off except for us. I don't mean that, I mean, we were turned on, but that's not what I meant. the,
We were
the,
turned on, but
the world was turned off.
that's too funny.
Yes. That was like a
Uh,
big takeaway that I even take into my marriage now because Jeremy, being a truck driver, he's never home. And when he is home, like I have Sundays off from work and like I do my church thing and then I just spend the rest of the day with him. Like I don't schedule
you do text me
anything.
though. I'm just saying.
That's because you're the bestie. Like I will be
He's like,
sitting there
who
on the
you talking to?
couch. Facts. I'll be sitting there on the couch with him. I'm like, okay, hold on, babe. I gotta talk to Bon Bon. Hold on. And then I'll like voice talking to my phone. And he's like, what are you guys talking about? Don't worry about it. Don't
None of
worry
your
about it.
business.
Right? Like, yeah.
We're talking about my spicy books.
Right. She just sent me what, 2 pages?
It was like 2.5.
Yes, and I'm over here like tired from work, trying to like zoom in on this. Like, what am I reading here? Reading it out loud, and I'm over here like, and then he touched. Oh, okay. And then it goes into like 2 sentences of like normalcy, and then it's like he said something like, "Those lips better show me," and I was like, "Ma'am."
What was it?
Better.
The one that said that he says, if you want me to get on my knees and beg, then I'll do it, or something like that.
Yes. It was hilarious. I'm like, oh my.
Oh,
Oh,
oh.
this is the book that has The scene in it where he like levels the table.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
I need to find that scene and like post it
Yes.
respectfully.
Respectfully. Respectfully.
I mean, if I were to
I need
like,
to show you the Uber scene.
yes, I've heard about this Uber scene.
I
It's
I would
uber
say you should
spicy.
I would say you could read it out here in the podcast, but probably shouldn't.
Well, you can send it to me and I will do like a private video and post it in the Facebook group. And
That
it'll
would
be
be
a
funny.
blind react one. One
You're
of
gonna be
those
like,
like
oh,
you send it to me, I will blindly read it.
that's funny. I can't wait to be here. You just go like, oh, he
Oh,
did what? What are they doing?
because then I get confused and I think I read it wrong. And I'll go back and reread the sentence and I'm like, nope,
They by
nope.
themselves? Where are they?
Like I read
Oh,
that right. He's putting that honey where? Yeah. Honey's not just for KFC biscuits.
no, it's not.
Okay, where are we at now?
I don't
Words of
know.
affirmation. Do you have any
Jeez.
takeaways in regards to that?
So with with this and a lot of my other relationships, they didn't say like a lot of things like, I'm proud of you,
Mm,
or I appreciate the things that you do for me. A lot of my relationships that I've been in, they just really didn't really take consideration that that's what I need. And I think a lot of that goes back to my childhood about like my father and how like I was verbally and mentally abused. And
mhm,
so because of that, I feel like I need the validation. I need to hear that. And so because I wasn't getting that from my relationships, it just made me feel like I don't deserve it. I don't deserve things. So like to be able to hear things like I'm proud of you, you're doing really great. Um Different things like that. Because I didn't hear those, it made me realize that I actually do like hearing those things.
mhm.
And when I do get those things, it actually makes me feel better.
Yeah.
Is that the way to say it? I don't know if that's the way to say it. It also goes into play with we're just gonna say it. I have a brace kink. So it goes into play with that. So
Sorry, I know there's backstories that I know about this. That's why I am laughing.
so um so yeah, but from my other like what I took away from my other is that I learned what I do deserve hearing, what I do like to hear, and then of course, what we just talked about.
Yes, good girl.
Yeah. Feeling a little hot in here. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I have the AC on, so you guys might hear that. So I apologize if you do. It's a hot day here, or hot night here in Georgia. So for me, when it comes to words of affirmation, like my takeaways, is I feel like me and you are very similar when it comes to not getting it growing up. Like I was never told like, oh, you're a good girl. I didn't mean it like that. I was not I was never told, praising things. I'm proud of you. I love you, stuff like that. In my family, it was like you never express emotions unless it's like you're happy or it's an masculine emotion. Like the softer side of you never showed up.
Right.
And like my family was really big on the whole never complain, never explain. And so if something happened to you that like all the trauma that happened to me, it was always like, well, we're not going to talk about it. Nobody talked about it. They knew, I'm assuming they knew, you know, and it was just swept under the rug. Like it was never talked about, you know.
Right.
And anything that I did that wasn't what they wanted, I would get the crap beat out of me and told, oh, well, you embarrassed me. I would get all the negative side of it and never the positive side of it, where it's like, I love you, you're doing great in school, nothing like that. So but I feel like I'm in the same boat as you when it comes to not getting that. So that's something that you need. And I feel like when it comes to words of affirmation, it's almost like what you need to hear says more about
Mhm.
you than actually needing to hear it.
Right.
Like, of course we want to hear it. Like, I would love for Jeremy to tell me that, oh, well, he does, but I'm just saying, I would love to hear, I'm proud of you, or you're so smart, or you're doing such a great job, stuff like
Right.
that. But it's one of those, like, I feel like psychologically, what I need to hear says more about me and what I need in regards, instead of what I need from him. I don't know
Right.
if that came out right.
Well, no, I understood it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think you worded it better than I did, so.